This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Friday. We made it September 10th. I'm Tori. I'm here with Al, Erica, and thankfully Dr. Coley to answer some questions.
And I'm here too.
And Al, I said your name before.
I know, but to answer questions.
Everyone is talking about this today. The president ordered some major vaccine mandates that will impact tens of millions of Americans. So let me break this down for you. All employees at businesses with over 100 staff members now have to be vaccinated. Healthcare workers and federal government employers are also now required to get the jab. Here's some of what the president had to say.
What more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see? We've made vaccinations free, safe, and convenient. The vaccine has FDA approval. We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
So DBL Nation, these are some pretty big mandates, and we want to know what you think. Do you support President Biden's vaccine mandates for employees? Yes or no? We want to hear from you. Go to dblvote.com to weigh in. We also want to talk to Dr. Coley about this.
Yeah, I just really want to know if you think that these mandates are going to be effective in getting people vaccinated.
You know, Erica, behavioral scientists have looked at human behavior, and they have reported that when you use the stick instead of the carrot, meaning you use punitive measures like fining somebody instead of giving them incentives, it's actually more effective. So I do think that they're going to work. I think there's going to be a lot of resistance to it. I do think Americans need to change their attitudes about the vaccines. And, you know, there's kind of three boxes that people fit into: the adopters, the ones who got the vaccines. It's called the movable middle, the ones who are kind of in the middle. And then there are the ones who are the refusers. And I think it's really the refusers that we really want to try to get to come on board, because they're the ones, I think, that are limiting the ability of us to end this pandemic.
Yeah, it's so interesting that, like, you know, Biden's got this dual responsibility to, first of all, make sure everybody's healthy, of course, but also he's got an economy that if he does not keep running, you know, that'll be the first thing they attack him on upon re-election. So you can't have an economy running if Erica has a business and then all of a sudden you're shut down for 4 months, or the DMV in your neighborhood is shut down for 2 weeks.
Interstate commerce can be shut down.
So
right.
it's this weird dynamic where people are saying that they want their freedom, but they also want a robust economy. I don't know if we can have both. Now, let's get back to the mandates. Dr. Coley, he's saying that they're going to implement these mandates, but when will we see the effects of them?
This is a great question, because remember how long it takes us to get vaccinated, right? The Pfizer program takes 5 weeks until you're fully vaccinated. Moderna takes 6 weeks. So if we started today, the earliest that we would see effects on COVID cases would be in 2 months, because it takes another 2 weeks after you got the vaccine for the effects to really manifest themselves. So I don't want people to start saying, well, they don't work.
I see.
Because next week we'll hear that the cases are still going up, which they will, because we all got together on Labor Day.
So it's the patience that we need, really. All right. There are a lot of very angry reactions from the right over President Biden's new strategy. The RNC actually says they'll sue to stop it. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott tweeted, quote, "Biden's vaccine mandate is an assault of private businesses. I issued an executive order protecting Texans' right to choose whether they get the COVID vaccine." And Sean Hannity had this to say on his show last night.
Joe, you canceled all medical freedom today with your broad edict and your mandates, one-size-fits-all medicine. You eliminated medical privacy. You eliminated all doctor-patient confidentiality. And ask yourself, what does Dr. Joe Biden know about every unvaccinated American?
So, and we hear the anger, we feel the anger, the tag board still going up, the poll keep writing in. Right now we are at 69% say yes, 31% of you say no. Do you support the president's mandated vaccines for federal employees? Doc, do these vaccine mandates take away people's freedoms?
I'll take that one, Doc. No,
Please.
absolutely not. We'll be off the air and
I have a question. Like, many of you out there right now have the smallpox scar on you right now. That was mandated, and we have kids in school. You can't go unless you have the measles, the mumps, diphtheria. This isn't new. The Supreme Court's already ruled on it.
The only thing new about it is COVID, which has become so politicized. And medical freedom, people are abusing that word. What is medical freedom? It's my right to make decisions without the government interfering about my body. But if my medical freedom impinges upon Erica's, Al's, and Tori's medical freedom to live life without illness, then that's not medical freedom. So just like if I decide to drink at night, and it's my choice. I can do that. But I cannot get in a car and then, impose risk upon you guys because you didn't make that choice. So I think we're really distorting what medical freedom is here by saying that by protecting the greater good, by protecting the community, we're taking away people's medical freedom. And I really like the point you made, Tori, which is that we've been doing vaccines for years. If you fell on the street and scraped your knee and the doctor told you needed a tetanus, would you get it or would you argue about it?
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry. This is like really blowing my mind because obviously we just showed this clip of Hannity and you were talking about the movable middle. And I find it so interesting that obviously the stances have changed for some people, especially in Hannity's situation, because Fox is also requiring everyone to get the vaccine. So the idea of political or medical freedom is also a moving target because we now know what we didn't know in the beginning. And based on what we know now, we can make better decisions. So when we're having these conversations about the movable middle, do you think that there's like a staunchness in like people aren't getting the correct information up to date? Or is the politicization affecting it for you to get information to your patients?
I think both, Erica. I had two in my office yesterday, very intelligent couple, go into people's homes. He's an air conditioner technician, so he goes into people's homes in and out, and he's afraid because he says it hasn't been well studied, and that is just not a fact. So I think the misinformation, the infodemic, has really set the stage for the politics to take over. And the combination of the two has made COVID this contentious topic which no other vaccine has ever had. No other intervention in medicine has ever had this kind of resistance. But I will say that in general, human behavior is to resist vaccinations. This happened, with smallpox. This happened with polio. When polio was eradicated, that's when we really saw a shift away from people resisting vaccines.
They saw the truth, exactly. Right. And it's, again, we don't want to put Dr. Coley ever in a political place, but this medical decision almost sort of becomes intertwined. So thank you for that. We don't want to put you on the spot.
She was a woman of color talking about COVID and masks. She's in a political place.
True, but it's hard as a doctor. I don't want her answering political discussions, but it's almost become political just to discuss it.
Absolutely.
So thank you for that. We really appreciate it.
Let's get information.
Yeah. You want to interrupt again? All right, let's go to 67% say yes. Do you support Biden's vaccine mandates? And 32% of you say no. All right, coming up on DBL, a woman's fight to help save a robotics team in Afghanistan, how she made it her mission to reach out when they were in crisis. And another person caught on camera behaving badly gets fired from their job. Did he deserve it? Start writing in.
Closed captioning provided by
Weather.
Yeah, I mean,
the infodemic was the coolest thing she said, I thought.
That's a great.
The
It's a great
epidemic
word.
of misinformation.
I was just going to say, I'm so interested in like the buzzwords that we hear because you're hearing about like medical freedom, and I was watching the documentary. If you guys have a chance, it's on HBO. It's called Crime of the Century, and it's about how the opioid crisis took over. And remember, and of course, yours truly, Rudy Giuliani was the head of this movement, but the pharmaceutical companies hired Rudy Giuliani, because he still had a lot of public credibility at that time, to mandate for the use of opioids for everybody. And they used the term, they said that people are trying to block your access to pain.
As your medical freedom.
Yes.
So you use it when you need it.
So it's like we, for a second, we had a chance to kind of, cut the head off of the snake of the opioid epidemic, and instead, it was allowed to go on.
We wasted lives. That's so.
More than that, they said more people die from opioids in Vietnam every year. We have Vietnam every single year just with opioids.
I also want to let you know, Jacobson, in case you're a nerd. I know, and a lot of you are, but some of you aren't. But if in case, look up Jacobson v. Massachusetts. It's a Supreme Court case that allowed the constitutionality of mandates and for vaccines. Guess how long ago that was? What year that was?
How long?
1905.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like 81 or something.
No, 05 they said it was constitutional. So if you keep hearing about Jacobson versus Massachusetts or Jacobson, that's the Supreme Court. If you're interested in reading the brief that says it's constitutional.
Tori, wouldn't you argue that more parts of your day are mandated than not? in terms of what side of the street you drive on.
It's a responsible society.
Your seatbelt,
You make
stopping at a
sacrifices.
stoplight, parking in a parking space.
I think there's a whole element we're not talking about, and that's social media. A lot of people got a lot of numbers saying certain things about vaccines either way, and they don't want to lose that platform.
So it's literally about Welcome back to DBL. We're so glad you're here with us. We do have an update to a story we told you about yesterday. If you remember, a Colorado man confronted a group of teenagers on a beach. He was upset by their bikinis, which he said were inappropriate to wear in a family environment. If you don't recall, we have the clip. Take a look.
That's a thong and that's a bra.
That's
Take young eyes into consideration. They don't need to see pornography right in
We're
front
not
of their
coming
eyes.
away.
You're flaunting your stuff.
I'm not flaunting anything. Well, why are you looking at me? No, get the eyes. What did you say? Gouge your eyes out. It bothers you.
All right, now that man has been fired from his job at a construction company called Mighty Hand Construction. And there was also this, if you recall earlier this week, we told you about this woman who was filmed coughing on a mother and her child at a grocery store who were wearing masks. Well, she also got fired from her job. So the question we want to bring to you guys is, what do you think about employers holding people accountable for their bad behavior outside the workplace? Is that fair, Cobb?
Well, I'm going to have to say yes, and I have definitely lost my job for bad behavior outside of the workplace.
Whoa.
Yeah, you live and you learn, baby.
Wow.
I've talked about it. I went on a Christmas little Christmas party, and then I went to an event, and I was a little too
Overserved.
Overserved. Oh yeah. You live and learn. I think people have always had to do this, or employers have enforced this. We just call those people celebrities and public figures. So what's happened now is you have normal people who think that they're under the cloak of anonymity, but once that cell phone comes out, you lose all anonymity.
Now you're famous.
Now you are a public figure. So the employers are like, don't be putting your bad behavior on us, and yes, they have a right to fire you.
Al, do you agree?
I do, and I wanted to argue this because I don't like the idea of work and not in leisure time. I don't like them crossing over a lot. I do think that human beings need that kind of time for decompression to do whatever. But as I was thinking about it this morning, I was like, if you got in a bar fight over the weekend, you could lose your job. If you got a DUI over the weekend, you could lose your job. If you were caught in possession of something illegal, you could lose your job. So why would this be any different? Also, the internet. People will say, oh, this person, Erica Cobb, who had this had this, yelling situation at the grocery store. Where does she work? Daily Blast Live. Well, let's send 300 emails a day until,
100%.
so you're going to affect that workplace. So I get it.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's
What do you think?
I think when that woman coughed, that's assault. And I have a really big issue. If you came at me and coughed, I would call the police on you. That is not something to joke about. It is a contagious virus that is not just fireable. To me, that is a criminal offense. That's how far I take it. Yeah. All right, coming up on DBL, a story about going above and beyond to help others in need. Why a woman decided to help save a robotics team in Afghanistan. This story is so incredible. Stay tuned, everyone.
This was when.
The global supply chain is still out of whack from the pandemic. Companies rely on regular, steady shipments from their suppliers. COVID outbreaks have forced factories to shut down at different points. Some factories are having trouble getting the raw materials they need. That ripple effect comes all the way down to us. It means various items are out of stock and more expensive. Retailers say there's nothing much they can do but wait for more supply. Unfortunately, experts say this will likely impact holiday shopping. In fact, major retailers like Walmart and Target are chartering private vessels to prepare. Experts say your best bet is just to shop extra early this holiday season. That's connecting the dots.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big.
I cannot wait
bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day.
The grace of Rob. Beautiful job on the camera. Welcome back to DBL. As we all watched Afghanistan fall to the Taliban, an Oklahoma mom of 11 did more than just watch the news. That's today's DBL Spotlight. As the rest of the world watched Afghanistan collapse, Allison Renault couldn't help but think of those she knew in the war-torn country.
Ended up meeting these amazing 5 girls at a space conference in Washington, D.C. And from there, I've just kept in touch the last 2 years. They were hoping to come to the United States and get their education and make their dreams come true. And I wanted to be a part of that.
The robotics team had left their mark on Allison even years after their first meeting.
Maybe because I have 9 daughters, we really connected. They're humble, they have this gentle, glowing spirit. They're respectful, but at the same time, there's a fierce courage and determination on the inside to overcome the obstacles that they have in their country.
With her motherly heart weighing heavy, Allison reached out to the team's mentor.
I woke up on Tuesday, August 3rd, and there was just this overwhelming, dreadful feeling in my heart that they were in trouble. So I began to reach out to people way above my pay grade and just began to go to work.
Allison worked with the team's mentor and leader, doing whatever she could to help.
We loved them. We were determined that we were not going to give up until these girls were safe.
The girls were successfully evacuated from Afghanistan.
We as a team were able to evacuate those girls. The Qatari government was ultimately the government that stepped up and put them on a plane and took them safely to Qatar.
But Allison's efforts are far from over. As news of the rescue broke, her inbox began to fill.
I was really hoping that there would be others that would reach out to me to ask for help. And sure enough, the cries for help began to come in.
Now, despite her efforts, there has been some controversy surrounding Allison's story, and we wanted answers. So we spoke with her earlier. Take a look. Allison, welcome to DBL. I've been following the story, and it's just incredible. You started helping these Afghan girls because you know them, but now you're trying to help women you've never met. So what are the stories you are now hearing coming out of Afghanistan?
One of the first requests I received was from some professional, educated women. They said they had been fired from their jobs. They were in hiding. They were being hunted. 2 had been assassinated. 1 had been beat to death, almost, and another blinded. And could I please help them? They had heard the story of the Afghan girls robotic team. They said they'd reached out to many organizations and nobody would say yes. And I got a list of, I thought it would be like 20 people in this profession. Right. It ended up being 212 women in hiding.
Allison, it's not lost on me just how heavy of the things that you just told us just now. These women tell you things like they're dying. That's a lot of weight on one person. How are you emotionally handling that?
I'm not. I am very emotional. I know their children. I've seen pictures. They're adorable. They're just like us. They just want life, liberty and the pursuit of happiness. And so, but the good news is a dream team has been assembled. I'm not in this alone, never was in the first place. It's always been a team. I'm kind of at the bottom of the food chain, right? I'm sitting here with a Cocoa Pebbles cereal box with a tripod on top and a cell phone, just a little bit of courage. And we're Americans who have a mission to rescue human beings who deserve a second chance at life.
Allison, as inspiring and catalyzing as your story is to so many, it's not without controversy in your efforts. So some people are saying that your stories are made up. They also say you're endangering the safety of these girls and that you need to butt out. So what do you say to those reports?
When I first received the letter that says be quiet, I thought to myself, what should I do? I literally stayed up all night. I thought, I just need to know what's right. And I sat and I thought every different angle. And the conclusion I finally came to was this. Number one, I believed if I came out with this story and told my side of the story, which, by the way, I can back up with hundreds of text messages with me and the person that did this, with the officials that worked with me in the U.S. Embassy in Qatar. This media coverage is going to give grieving Americans hope that there is a light in the middle of all this darkness. And the second reason is, as I said before, maybe I could rescue a few more. Maybe the hand of Providence would allow me to just get one or two more. And now it's grown like Schindler's List, and it is overwhelming, but we're not going to quit. Even though America has evacuated, we're not leaving these people alone.
That was my next question to you, Allison. All these negative reports, it can make people want to just stop. So I'll ask you point blank, are you going to stop?
Absolutely not. You know, I have 11 children, biological children. 9 of them are daughters and 2 are sons. So I'm on my 11th teenager. I have pretty thick skin. And I forgive the people who have told me to be quiet. I forgive the false reports, because time is our most important commodity. Failure is not an option.
Wow.
And I'm inspired by that saying.
Wow. They say that well-mannered women rarely make history, so keep going. We're so happy that you are here and take the time to speak with us. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Allison.
Thanks, Allison.
We'll be right back.
It's been an honor to be here. God bless you all.
You too.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
We've all got some... It's a claim shared on Twitter, Facebook, and Paul also writing our newsroom asking, did the CDC discontinue the PCR test for inaccuracy? Let's verify. Our sources include the CDC, the FDA, and experts Dr. Harry Hyman and Dr. Jeff Hogan. We know you're familiar with PCR tests at this point, but just in case, we're talking about polymerase chain reaction testing. The FDA calls these the gold standard for detecting COVID-19. But there's been questions after the CDC posted a lab alert saying that after this year, the agency would no longer request emergency use authorization for its 2019 tests. Some took that as a sign that PCR tests are inaccurate, but that's false. The CDC says they're phasing out this one single type of PCR test developed early in the pandemic, encouraging labs use a newer version that screens for both the flu and COVID-19 at the same time.
It's important for people to realize that this test was developed in February 2020, a time when many people were racing to develop testing technology for the coronavirus. Now we're in an atmosphere where there are in the neighborhood of 300 FDA-approved tests, many of which are more efficient.
Because symptoms of COVID and the flu can be similar, efficiency could be critical with flu season around the corner.
By combining the ability to test these two pathogens, essentially in one tube, that's going to save on manpower, cost, consumables, and get a result out a little bit quicker.
So while it's true the CDC will no longer request emergency use approval for one particular type of PCR test, claims suggesting PCR tests are inaccurate are false. The CDC confirmed their original PCR test is highly precise. They're just encouraging labs adopt their newer version to save time and resources.
DBL is back September 13th, and year 5 is going to be big. I cannot wait. Bold debates.
You're canceling people.
That says a lot. Hot celebs.
Look, we treat everything as a joke.
Thank you very much, Sean Stamos.
Just turn up the notch on that. Enjoy.
And all the laughs.
Awesome. I love it. Let's do it. Yes.
DBL is always all new every day.
Flu season was nearly non-existent last year, so why are doctors so concerned about you getting a flu shot this year? Let's connect the dots. In 2020, we saw a record low number of flu cases across the country. You can chalk that up to a number of safety measures like masks, social distancing, and virtual school. But this year is a different story. COVID rules are more relaxed, meaning protections against the flu are gone too. And there's already been some signs that this flu season could be a bad one. Right now, doctors are seeing a rare summer spike of RSV in kids. The respiratory disease usually doesn't surge until the winter. Public health experts see this as a sign the flu could do the same. So what can you do about it? It's pretty simple. Doctors say get your flu shot before Halloween. Just like the COVID vaccine, flu shots are not 100% effective, but they do a lot to prevent serious symptoms and keep you out of already crowded hospitals. And that is connecting the dots.
Welcome back to DBL. Are you struggling to lose weight? Well, we're chatting about the tips and help you set and meet your exercise goals.
Is your hand struggling to lose weight?
I did that wrong, I agree. On DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. Anyone who's tried knows just how hard it can be to follow through with exercise goals. But new research shows that there's a surefire way to create lasting habits. The trick is setting your exercise goals, then engaging with them as soon as possible. So people who start working on their goals immediately after setting them have a much higher chance of creating a long-lasting habit. Staying active is so important, and QB has made it easy regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-782-2351 or visit QB.com to learn more. I do want to shout out our audience for writing in. We got an enormous amount of people on that vote. I'm glad that we're speaking to you, that we're having a conversation with you, and that you're part of that conversation. It was interesting to see an enormous amount of people for that vote.
Yeah.
Well, this affects everyone, you know, I mean, regardless of what side of the issue you're on or what your status is, like, it personally affects you. So I understand anytime you have something personal, you're going to go at it with your whole chest.
Yeah, makes sense. And also, if you guys were interested, their Supreme Court case that I told you about, Jacobson v. Massachusetts, go ahead and read it if you're nerdy like me, and you'll find out everything. DBL, we are new every single day. We will see you Monday, same time, same place. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, guys.